Well, hey, y'all. Let's talk about some new finds from all over. And I'm going to start out with the one from Scott's House of HO Racing, which is going to be on again later tonight, y'all. If you want to watch a good auction, I'm sure most of the usual suspects know exactly what I'm talking about. But I bought a car that in the past, these Hot Wheel varieties I have never really had a hankering for, but this one is different. Look at that color. A little OU Sooner red, candy apple scarlet. What a beautiful car. And that's what said I had to have it. So it's got the Hot Wheels in the back on the windshield. The pretend Hot Wheel rims with the red line tires, which are still in amazingly good shape. I don't think I'll mess with them. I am going to run it. I'm going to set up a track early next week. I'm way behind on testing some that I fixed up. This one doesn't look like it's been run that much. Got a little bit of wear on the contacts, but a little oil, and I think she'll be a good runner. I did put it on the battery. It does run. So that's a beauty from Scott's. And then on eBay, I got this Porsche. Y'all remember I had a red and white one that I got new in the pack. Well, this one is the one that came lighted. Now it runs, but the bulb don't work. I'm gonna have to swap it out. I already took it off. It does have a bulb, but it has the unique wide body 440, not X2, but just 440 Magnum, which later they called 440 X2 Magnums too. So that term alone don't mean single bar magnet, but if somebody says just Magnum, that's usually what they mean. You just got the single bar magnet across there. And I think on the narrow body ones that are like that with foam tires, mostly F1s that I've had are like that. They drift really good. In other words, when they're sliding around, I think that magnet going all the way across, there's no gap in it. So the magnetic field doesn't break from that outer rail while it's going, and may give you a little edge and not popping out of the slot and rolling or whatever. That could be a load of horse poop, but it it makes sense to me. That's my theory anyway. Now these rims are yellow. I'm gonna have to check in the book because there are only like 3 cars that were issued wide body with this chassis. Now in my junk box, I found one that needed new pickups that's like that, and I bought some bare chassis. I'm gonna build a couple with some hot armatures and see what they run like. I'll try some with foams and non-foams, but these rims look like they've been painted. They look good on the yellow, but I think they've been hand painted. So I'm gonna double check. If it had white rims, I'll probably put those back on there, but they don't look horrible. Like I said, it's got the thicker tires in the front, but that's a good looker. Like I said, it needs a headlight. And then this one is an eBay find also, and this gem I think I got for 15 bucks shipped. And I was thinking of ordering an emergency vehicle that I could put some emergency flasher lights in, but I might just leave this one as it is because I don't have one. I have the yellow number 22 one. Now this one is on a jam car chassis that don't look like it's ever been run. It's missing the back tires. I might just convert it, do the pin conversion I do and leave it like that and not do much with it. I don't know. But it's just those lights on there. There is another version of this that has the big square, we'll call them siren bezels. It'd probably be more easy to put the flashers in than this one because I don't have any LEDs that are that small, so it might look odd. I may not mess with it, but that's what I was looking for it for. I'm not a big van fan, but you know, when you collect as many cars as we do, sometimes there's just not much left that you ain't bought. So that was a real good deal. Like I said, you can fit a HP7. I know there's some HP7 lovers out there, and you could fit a HP2 or a Tyco Pro under there or a 440. But I'll probably, like I said, since that one's pretty clean, never been run, I'll probably just convert it, use it like a track cleaner, because they're not really racing vehicles anyway. And then when I was at Hobby Lobby today, you know, Pro Stinker says them BRE Auto Worlds, they're rare, y'all. You ain't finding them nowhere else. He's got the only ones left. Except I just bought 3 last 2 weeks ago down at one of the Hobby Lobbies. And then today I was in there in them rare BRE varieties to pick up the 68, another one, the 40, 2 of the 46s was in one location. So, and one of them had a set, the BRE set. We did the small loop, I call it. We went out to Lexington, South Carolina, and then Aiken, and we hit North Augusta, which is in South Carolina, and then the Augusta store, which is our local. So a small loop of 4, and there's another 4 store, 3 or 4 in Columbia, but we didn't go into the city. But and at all of the stores, we found it. We hit 4 stores, and I picked up 1 vehicle in each store. So that was good. On the last trip, which was maybe last week, I found one in my local Augusta and one in the North Augusta. They're real close to each other. And those 2 were I-Wheels. This is one, the Blues Brother with the speaker on top, which is not really a car I was looking to get, but it is the I-Wheels, and you can see, hey, the only I-Wheels I got, I find them at Hobby Lobby, because they're rare, y'all. You're not going to find them anywhere, and if it's there, it must be a fluke. But I have found, I think, a total of 4 I-Wheels total. My buddy Don found one at another location and picked it up for me. So all the I-Wheels I have, except for the Love's GT, the Ford GTs, those were pretty easy to find when I had them. They were in almost every Love store. So I had a couple of those. But the Blues Brothers I-Wheel, and these Blues Brothers sets are in almost every Hobby Lobby we visited today. That's the ones with the amp chassis, not this car, but the non-speaker version. And then at the North Augusta location, I found this one, which is a Camaro. And I have that car in the regular issue variety, the Camaro, El Camino. I wish they'd do a Ranchero, that would be better. I tend to favor the Fords a little more than a Chevy, but that's okay, we'll get over it. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. It looks like it's got dirty tires and dirty finish, but it is the I-Wheels version. And then today's run-ins, at one of them, I've seen this other Chaparral there before. I picked up the number 2 one. And the last time I saw it, I thought it was the same car. I didn't realize it was the 222. So I didn't pick it up then, but I saw it today and I was like, well, I'll go ahead. They're both white, doesn't matter, but now I got the 2 and the 222 Chaparral, which are kind of like these are T-Jet versions. I don't know if they made a T-Jet Chaparral. They did, they made some, because I remember somebody told me one of the original ones I had was one, not this body style. But I know AFX had them in the magnet traction and non-magnet traction variety. And then at another store, I got the black and purple, which I'm not a fan of the black, but it's different enough. I do like these buses because my dad had one when I was a kid, and his was blue on the bottom with a white top. And I remember we hated riding that because he's a TV man, and he never had the seats in there, so we'd have to sit on the floor with a rear engine cover, and that thing had an exhaust leak, so you always left that vehicle smelling like cigarettes and have a headache. Don't ever fall asleep in an old bus where you're getting a headache. But again, at one of the other stores, I think this was North Augusta, I got this here Superbird or Dodge Daytona Charger. I call them Superbirds. I know there's a difference, but yeah, and it had a interesting color scheme. Got the black top looking like vinyl top, which I had a 77 Ford Granada with that vinyl top, what was peeled off, and the previous owner had it all peeled off, and it was just painted silver. I love that car. It was a great car. I'd drive one now if I had it. It's the two-door version, heaviest doors you ever seen. And then at our Augusta store, we had this variety of the Gulf 1970 Mustang, which I already had the one that's all the light color with the Gulf logo. It looks more appropriate, but what the hell, it's a Ford. I went ahead and got it. And then a couple 132s. I saw this on Home Racing World's New Year's Eve. He did a live stream running some cars, and he pulled this one off the shelf, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that existed. I have to have it. So went straight to Carrera Slots. They had it in stock. They had a Cheddar's car that looked pretty cool, but it was not in stock. So I picked this one up it's the same car basically with a different paint scheme. And so I'd have two of the same to run at the same time. And that's it. So get out to them Hobby Lobbies. They got rare cars there. Pro Stinker says so. They're very rare. So you can find them. And Joe, his last deal, hope you feel better quick, Joe. But he was talking about eBay, and he found a deal he wasn't really looking for. Well, I go on there and I look for particular cars that I don't have, like the impossible to find cheap anymore FedEx US trucking van. I would really like to have that one. I never bought it a long time ago because, like I said, I really don't care too much for the vans. But that one's cool because it's modeled after FedEx vehicle. I like them when they're a realistic copy or representation or a race car. But so I go look every once in a while, and that's how I found one of these, because I'll look for pages and pages of Tycos, and I'm always looking for that one. Sometimes you can find one that's not labeled. If you search by Tyco, FedEx, US trucking, it's going to be expensive. So I don't know that I'll ever find one. I keep looking in hopes that there might be a body in a junk box lot or something, and that's what I look for. If there's some salvageable bodies, maybe I got parts. I know a lot of y'all do that. I'm sure, like Rich, who I watched a little bit last night, he puts a bunch together and saves the parts, which I do. But to find good deals now, don't get real fond of a car. If you see one that you think is kind of in the almost good price range, make it good. Just put it in your add to watch list and leave it sit. With the economy dumping like it is, I've noticed people are making some real generous offers right now and the prices are scooching down because ain't a lot of us going and wasting a whole bunch of money on slot cars. So it's a buyer's market right now, y'all. Be fussy, be patient, and like I said, you got to look a lot. But I don't mind looking at slot cars. Just don't be all jumpy and obsessed. Don't fall in love with them. They're just toys. Remember that. They're toys, y'all. So Rare, yeah, if you got to have it, if you're a master collector or whatever, well, more power to you. I ain't there. I do have a fairly good collection and I'm happy with it. But, you know, I'm always willing to find more. And my primary shopping guys are Hobby Lobby because they got decent prices and good selections most of the time. There's no rhyme or reason to them. It's random, but there can be random goodness for you. I'm starting to see the Super 3 stock cars showing back up again, and they were only in one store when they first came out, and I bought them all, and that's almost 2 years ago, maybe even close to 3. I don't remember when those, the generic ones without logos, without official sponsors, came out. But I'm starting to see them all the time, and a couple of those silver F1s keep popping up. So just shop early, you know, just look. Our refill days, I think, are Thursdays and Fridays. So Saturday and Mondays is a good time to go for us. They unpack them. We've been there on Fridays when they still got the boxes just all tore open, and they don't mind you rummaging through them if you want to. But, and do look above the bins sometimes. Sometimes above the shelves, they got them clear plastic bins. If they got overflow, they might have stuff in there. And just ask them to fetch it down. They won't care. The people in the stores, they don't care. They don't know nothing about slot cars. They think they're die cast. They think a lot of them think they're priced wrong because they're double the cost of a die cast. So, well, good shopping for you. Y'all take care.